To another day, and today is a special one. It's a SAT score reveal day. Guys, if you are watching this not on the live stream, if you are watching this as a video, recorded video later on, I recommend that you use the timestamps to switch over to the next chapter where I'll actually go straight into the where I'll go straight into the score reveal. You can do that. Actually, I think there on a MacBook, there's a shortcut for it. You can just hit Option and then right arrow on YouTube, and that'll skip you to the next chapter. Okay, guys, so back to the stream. Here, we're about 11 minutes out from 3 p.m. I did get the email from College Board, so that means, they confirmed to me that my score is ready, so I'll be able to show you guys my score. We have 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna chill, 11 minutes, so I'm just gonna chill until then and see who comes in. Now, it looks like my stream has started, but there's some sort of weird technical issue, so I just need to double check. I'm gonna ask some people on Discord to see if my stream is working, because maybe it's not. Okay, just double checking. Okay, no, it is working. Hey, Amaze, what's up? So, right now, my interface on YouTube seems like it's kind of, like it says an error occurred, but it seems like you can all see me, right? You can see and hear me? Hey, Lucas, what's up? If you guys can see and hear me, can you just sort of confirm that by typing it into the chat? Because on my side, it says there's an error. Okay. Weird. I'm going to do a quick refresh of some things, but hey, Luca, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Everybody, we have 10 minutes until I actually go into revealing. Until then, you guys actually, I'm kind of curious what your scores were and how you guys are feeling. I'm going to do a quick refresh, though, of one of my screens right now, so I might not be able to see your chat for a second, okay? Be right back. Okay, and seeing if this fixes yes, it fixes my issue. All right, there we go. All right, so so we have a bunch of people here kind of gathering. This is kind of fun. Before we go into it, I kind of want to ask some questions to you guys. Again, there's 9 minutes left before I reveal my score, okay? I have not seen my score. I do not know my score right now. So when I will open up I'm going to log into College Board and I'm going to open it up for you guys. And the moment I see it, you're going to see it, okay? But before then, I want to know, for those of you who are comfortable, okay, and if you're not comfortable, you don't have to share anything, but for those of you who are comfortable, I'd love to know, what score did you get on the May SAT? What was the last SAT score you got? So how much of a jump did you see? And what do you think made the biggest difference? So if you guys could chat, if any of you would feel comfortable sharing that in the chat, I'd love to hear that. I don't really remember the May SAT right now. Like, I don't remember the questions, so I can't say anything anymore until I go into the QAS. But if no one talks, then what I'll do is I'll just look at, I'm gonna kind of browse through YouTube and just see what other reactions there are out there. Okay, so let me get right into it. Just give me a sec. My shortcuts are all off now. Okay. Oh, dude, my YouTube chat isn't updated. Give me a sec. Let me update it so that it actually connects. I'm still a sort of janky streamer. But I feel like I am getting a lot better than I was like a month ago. It's getting more high tech. So 3, 2, 1. Oh, hell yeah. All right. So, and by the way, guys, since I have my Discord right in front of me, if you are not in the Discord right now, you're missing out on a community of people who are just like talkative and helpful and not soul sucking. So if you wanna, no pun on my name because that's not how you pronounce my name anyway. But if you wanna go and if you wanna find a place where you can kind of chat about different SAT questions, different homework questions, your concerns about college admissions and whatnot, welcome to the Discord server. I don't think I have the link in my description. Let me just double check right now. Oh, I didn't put the link in the description, so let me actually do that right now. Hang on. Give me a second. So I had this. Okay, and I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna put this into the description of the video, Discord link. So if you refresh the screen, it'll show up. I'm also gonna put it in the chat, so you don't have to refresh the screen. So that's the link. That's the link for the Discord server if you want to join. Now I'm gonna look. I mean, we have 6 minutes left before I reveal my score. So before then, I kind of want to see. Okay, this is the email I got. And I haven't logged in yet. Okay. So I kind of want to just see. What was it? Other people's SAT score reactions. Ooh, what the heck just happened? Okay. I accidentally pressed some sort of shortcut key. Okay. May 2022 SAT. We have 5 more minutes before I do my reveal. 5 more minutes until I do my reveal. It's hilarious that why does my video come up number 2? But I guess it says May SAT over here. That makes sense. It's also my video. Hey, I got 3,000 views? Holy crap. I didn't even know that, guys. What the hell? That's kind of legit, dude. What? I did not know I had 3,000 views. Holy crap. I mean, that doesn't compare to 32,000 views like over here, but you know, I haven't written my secret. I haven't pulled out my secret weapon yet. You know, I haven't written a SAT guide yet, so I'm gonna do that sometime in the future. Okay, I'm gonna watch this at 2.8 speed. 2.8 speed. I have a Chrome extension that allows me to kind of control my speed. So I'm gonna watch it with closed captions and just sort of zoom through what other people are saying. Hang on, what? This is May 9th though. This is right after the May SAT, I think. So actually, I don't know. Would this be really interesting? I don't know if this would be interesting. I'm gonna try it. Yes, let's see what happens.
Like some hours ago, and students are already DMing me explaining how the exam was, how I thought about it, questions, all that. So I'm making this video and if you guys are interested in discussing how it was, you know, the comments are freedom of speech, so in the comments below, discuss each other. I haven't
watched this video because I'm a horrible YouTuber. I like don't pay attention to other people's YouTube.
What was the general consensus? Well, the reading session is obviously the harder SAT.
Yo, I should do that though. I should. Hey, I think I've balanced this audio before, but like I've balanced it so that my voice is still louder than the video. I hope that's true. If this video is overly loud, let me know. Me, thank you, me. What was I saying though? Oh, so, yo, this guy, yeah, that's such a simple thing.
The reading session is obviously the harder SAT session, right? Especially comprehension. That's the part that a lot of students do not get a high score on their raw score, usually low.
Over here. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
A lot of students do not get a high score on their raw score, usually low. I want students to struggle super hard on the reading comprehension.
Wait, what? There we go. This is so useful. I should do this. I need to do this. Like this little thing. I think it's so easy and useful. I need to start doing this on my streams.
Consensus. Well, the reading session is obviously the harder SAT session, right? Especially comprehension. That's the part that a lot of students do not get a high score on their raw score, usually low. I want students to struggle super hard on the reading comprehension session. Up until I started studying hard, you know, watching Khan Academy, announcing all the tips I explained in the video. SAT reading is hard, and there's no doubt about it. But for this SAT in particular, a lot of people actually said SAT reading was easier than the SAT they took in back in March. They said the SAT reading was not as hard as the SAT reading in past SAT in March, which means that this SAT might be a little easier, or it might mean like the curve might be a little harsher. Because an easy SAT means there's a harsh curve. Let's say the SAT for easy average raw score is pretty high.
Easy SAT does mean harsh curve. That's true.
The raw score is very low. Then if they get even 3 questions wrong, you might only
2 more minutes until I reveal.
Now, the SAT math section I heard a little harder this time around than March one, which probably means that as the SAT goes on in the year, this has happened a lot of time in history. The problems get a little more complex in terms of like the content is the same, the cookie is the same, the word might change, a little more confusing. Because March SAT is the first SAT of the school year, right? So they kind of testing out questions, testing out things, seeing what we're seeing, what doesn't work. The SAT is way too hard.
Wait, did he say that the math is getting harder over time? Now, for me, I actually would not know if that's true or not. I would not have any idea because I don't, you know, like you guys know, I didn't really pay attention to the math until like last week of April and first week of May, and then I studied for the math. So I actually don't know the trends of math. But I guess it doesn't matter actually. If you're a high schooler, it doesn't really matter. So if you're a high schooler in 2022, you really shouldn't give a shit if math was easier in 2019, because that's not your test, you know? That was the test at that time for those kids. And they're going to be judged on a competitive basis, on a curved score basis on that test. If anything, a more difficult test allows the top students to shine better. You know, it makes it easier to differentiate them. So, now that I think about it, I don't think you even really have to think about it. I don't think it's worth stressing out about whether the math test is getting harder or not, because at the end of the day, you're always going to be graded on a curve. Okay, so I hope you guys know basic enough statistics. If you're graded on a curve, you're only being compared to each other, not to anyone else in the past. Okay, so you're always going to be graded on a curve, and you're always going to be ranked at a percentile level, and that's what the scaled score is. Okay, so if you don't understand that, then you might start wasting your time and energy stressing out about, oh my God, the test is getting harder or easier. But you know what? You shouldn't. You really shouldn't. Understand what curve grading means and don't get stressed out about that. Now it is 3 o'clock, so I was watching this video just to kill time and just to see if anyone would actually share their scores, but no one shared their scores. So, all right, I'm gonna bite the bullet, and we're gonna go right into my score now. That it's 3 o'clock. Here we go. So this is the email I got. I already sort of pre-opened this, okay? Now, when I log in, I'm going to hide my screen because I just don't want to like share my email address for the whole world yet. You know, I don't feel that comfortable yet. So just know that I'm going to blank out the screen for a little bit, but give me a second. Yeah, there's nothing interesting here. We could talk later about score choice if some of you guys have questions about that, but yeah, there's really nothing else to talk about here. So if I click on this link, then this opens up. Let me blank out the screen for a second and log in. All right. Okay. Come back, screen. Screen, come back. All right. Now we're logging in. My fucking goodness. Hey, my math score is 750. That's insane. That's insane. I did not expect that. What the hell? I would have been okay with 790, but 750 is actually kind of a shocker. Am I going to be stuck in 1540 territory for the rest of my life? Jesus. I need something to destroy. This is my old mic. This is my old shitty mic. God damn it. Guys, I don't think I could get into Chicago anymore. Seriously, back in the day, I got a perfect score. I can't get into. I don't think I can even get into my old school anymore. Oh my God. All right, well, I'm less upset. For some reason, I'm less upset today than I was in March, but so annoying. Oh, God, so annoying. I really thought I did well on math. I did not expect that because I took the math twice, because I have so much time. Hang on. So the first math test, so the first math section is 25 minutes, right? Let me just remember that. Yeah, so it's 25 minutes. And I think I finished in 15 minutes. And then I took the next 10 minutes to go and review everything. I'm shocked, honestly. And then the second math section was 55 minutes. I think I finished it in 45 or maybe 40 minutes. I don't remember anymore. And so I spent the remaining time to go and double check everything, not just the ones that I thought were hard. I actually went from 1 through 35 or whatever the number is. I forget the actual number of questions. So I'm legitimately shocked by the math score. I really thought I would do better. Now, maybe the curve is just like stupid hard. I don't remember what the curve was for getting this, so I'm going to get right into it. Oh, it's so annoying. This is like cancer. 1540 twice in a row. I quit, man. Hey, does anyone have a better score than me? Does anyone in this stream have a... God damn it. Does anyone in this stream have a better score than me? It's embarrassing. 99th percentile, but that's still really upsetting. I'm not happy about this. How many did I get wrong on math? Anyway, but no, this is still validation because I still am primarily EBRW teacher. And last time I got 770, right? So this time I got 790. I wonder why though, because, but you know what? I remember I didn't have any leftover time during the reading. I actually had to go take a bathroom break during the reading section, which killed like 2 minutes on the reading test, or two. Yeah, I think it killed 2 minutes. I like ran, and that still killed 2 minutes. And 2 minutes counts for a lot for me for reading. I can't do the reading with like 10 minutes left over. That's not normal for me. So I'm pretty happy about 790, honestly, but because that was within my range, I was expecting, 1580 to 1600. But what the hell, man? What the hell is this? GG, Mexico, GG. I'm failing you guys. I felt good, man. I thought I would get a 1580. Okay, well, let's get into score overview. I'm clicking on it and it's just lagging for some reason. Click. Oh, this is score overview. Okay, this is very unintuitive UI. Okay, score detail, I'm clicking on it. All right. So for reading, I got 3 incorrect. That's actually shocking, but let's go find out what they were. 0 incorrect on writing, and then 5. Guys, I quit, dude. I quit. What the? 5 incorrect on math is actually legitimately embarrassing. That's not good. My goodness. This is me. I got 39 out of 40 in the science passages, apparently. So that's kind of interesting for some reason. Social science, I did solid on. Word and context, I got 2 wrong. F that, yo. Seriously? Okay, so that's interesting. So I got 2 wrong on something kind of like one of those sort of like those crapshoot questions. But that's very strange. I don't even remember it anymore. Like what word and context I might have gotten wrong. I got 2 algebra questions wrong, 1 data analysis. This is shocking. And 1 passport question. I mean, I'm just upset by all of these, but all right. Okay, let's look. Let's go see them. 5. By the way, guys, if you want me to review any of the questions you got wrong, you have to call them out before I move to the next section, okay? Before I move to the next section. So right now I'm on reading. So if there's any questions you want me to like shout out, call them out ASAP. Okay, so this is gloomy, dark, cloudy, gloomy. This is difficulty medium, and I got this one wrong. Okay, and we're looking at, hang on, like this is like the second column, I remember. Okay, now back to my move. The building was finished only a few years before, yet I was already the 3rd owner of this apartment. The day I moved in was dark and cloudy. Our truck was stuck. By the time we emerged, the storm had come and gone, but the sky remained gloomy. Okay, this is talking about how dark and cloudy it is. On the porch was a stain. I didn't take notice of it, and then I slipped. The move was completed, not a single neighbor came out. Okay, so so the words dark and cloudy kind of reflect his sort of inner, like how crappy that day was. The day of the move was supposed to be a exciting thing, right? He had like a big send-off, right? I feel like this good fortune and whatnot, and then congratulations, right? So he had this big sort of send-off, but this is just sort of how crappy the move actually was. So no, not the excitement that his friends and him are experiencing. Not the new home, not the home. This is describing the home, that's wrong. So again, I'm talking about as he leaves, the dread and regret, that's wrong. So D. I chose D. And the correct answer is B? Bruh. But irritable is off. Irritable is not the right word. So I can tell you why D is wrong. If you got rid of the word irritable, then everything else would be okay. But dismal and foreboding atmosphere that characterizes the home. The day was dark and cloudy, and the sky remained gloomy, and we're talking about the home? Yo. Motherfucker. The home? The building was only finished a few years ago. I was already the third one. Yes, that is negative of the home. The day was dark and cloudy. That is not the home. Okay, it could be referring to his interior feelings, sure. He could be, because feeling and dark and cloudy, like noticing the dark and cloudiness means that you are in the emotional space where you notice the dark and cloudiness, right? Like if you're feeling really happy, you're not going to notice dark and cloudy, right? So there's a direct connection between your internal mood and the dark and cloudiness. But what's the connection to the home? The only defense right now that I can think of is the word atmosphere, but this atmosphere is characterizing the home? The home? I'm going to keep saying this because I'm not happy about this question. Until we were all seeing stars, by the time we emerged, a storm had come and gone, but the sky remained gloomy. The home? I don't know, man. I wouldn't, if I wrote this, I don't know if, I can see why D is wrong, okay? I can argue why D is wrong. I can also argue why B is wrong. Apparently it's a medium difficulty question, so a lot of you guys are getting this right. Okay. Sure. What else am I gonna say about it, right? Okay, next time when I actually do the full review, I'll actually read through it more slowly and then make my final call on it. But the atmosphere that characterizes the home. Now, when you say atmosphere characterizes the home, that means that the home is characterized by this atmosphere. Is a home characterized by a day's weather? I don't know if it's that philosophical. I just think the answer is no. The home is not characterized by the day's weather on the day of the move. I just think that's like a weird question. And this is an easy question, by the way, that I got wrong. Let's look at this. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I chose days by. Interesting. 31, puzzling over. Whew, let's look. At first, I didn't take notice of it until I stepped on this stain and slipped on this stain. I was puzzling over this stain. Days by is wrong. I was puzzling, I guess. If you don't overthink it, I guess it's wondering about. But that seems like a strange word to use, because you wouldn't be, because is it worrying about? Like now I don't even know. I'm worrying about this. Like you slipped on it. So if I slip on something, I'm not worrying about this, or I could be worrying about this thing. I could be wondering about this thing. It's kind of a strange. I literally do not know the answer to this. Apparently this is an easy question, guys, and I can't get it. What is this weird question? Now, I think the reason it's an easy question is if you just do puzzling and you just use you don't even look at the context. Like you literally do not look at the context. You literally only look at, hey, out of these 4 words, what's the closest to puzzling over? And then just go to wondering about. I think A then it becomes an easy question. But what But like even wondering about it is such a strange word choice in context. Like I slipped on this stain and I was wondering about this stain, guys, when my friends like started moving and stuff. Like I was wondering about it, the stain that I just slipped on. Like why is wondering about it the right word? It's not even contextually natural. So I'm going to see if wondering about it is the right word. Let's see. 3, 2, 1, go. Dude, what the seriously, dude, like, why would you? That's not contextually how you use that word. Am I wrong? Am I crazy right now? Like, oh, I slipped on this banana. Oh, I'm wondering about this banana. That's not normally what you say. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, okay. Out of the 3 that I got wrong, 2 of them I don't accept. If I actually had a friend who was a test maker in the College Board, I would argue with them. I would. Okay. Now, dazed by it, I chose dazed by it as well, but I know it's wrong in context now because you are dazed by the slip. You know, weirdly enough though, okay, I'm going to give you the hard grammatical reasoning first, but then I will give you the reason why in natural conversation and actually in a novel, it's actually okay to choose what you chose, okay? So I'm actually going to defend C, okay? But first, let me attack C. So the reason dazed by is wrong is grammatically speaking, the word it, I was puzzling over it, okay? What is that referring to? It is referring to the stain grammatically, okay? So if you were dazed by the stain, that makes no sense. Very strange. You know, I'm like dazed by, like the stain dazed me? No. The thing that's dazed you is actually the slip, the falling, like hitting yourself on, like falling on something, right? That's the thing that dazes you, not the stain itself. So grammatically, it's not the right choice to use. It's not the right choice. But why did I choose C, and why did some of you guys choose C? Probably the biggest reason is in a novel. Okay, novels aren't written like scientific or technical papers. In a novel, sometimes the narrator speaks in a more colloquial manner or like a more flexible manner, okay? And what happens is when we say, and I slipped, I was dazed by it, that means in our head, oh, I was dazed by the slip, right? And that's what we're thinking, which makes roughly, you know, it feels okay. You know, I didn't love the answer choice personally. I was like, dazed by it. But I was like, it feels better, right? And that's why I chose C. Okay, that's why I chose C. I think that's probably why you guys chose C, because you're thinking of dazed by the slip. But grammatically speaking, and by the way, on the writing test, you have to be absolutely 100% accurate on this. On the writing test, you have to be 100% accurate on this. If it says puzzling over it, and the word it refers to stain, and you write dazed by it, you would absolutely be wrong. Okay, on the writing test, you would absolutely be wrong. So C is not a good answer choice because of the same skill that you would use on the writing test. But if I give you a little bit of credit, I would just say it's just that in a novel, okay, in actual literature, not all authors always write following every single grammatical rule to the T, okay? Sometimes they write a little bit more colloquially, and they'll sometimes be like, and I slipped, I was dazed by it. You know, that's okay. You know, you can see that in novels. It's very common to see in novels. So I think if you chose C, don't worry about it, right? I mean, it's not like you're trying to get. It's not like you even need 52 out of 52. Even if you're trying to get an 800, you don't need 52 out of 52 usually. So just let this one go. Okay? Don't freak out too much about it. Don't overinterpret it. Don't overcorrect. Oh, dude. Okay, out of the 3 that I got wrong on the reading, I still contest 2 of them. I'm not happy about this wondering about. It's a very weird word choice to be like, oh, I was wondering about the stain after you slip on it. And I mean, maybe with a little bit, I mean, I can see why it's not wrong, but I don't know if it's I don't know. I think they could have chosen a better word. Now, moving on to the last one that I got wrong. What's the last one I got wrong? Okay, analysis in science, 29, let's go. By the way, I don't see anyone sending. Oh, number 2. I'm kind of curious what number 2 was. Hey, before I look at a different test, I'm going to look at, a different passage. I'm going to stay with this first passage. Opinion. Oh, yeah, that was a positive opinion, right? He trusts him. Yeah. There's like evidence for that. He trusts him. You see it. I think it's like in the first paragraph or something. I'm not going to double check right now, but yeah, the evidence is right there. Let me look at 29, right? Let me see. Which potential finding will provide the 1540. God, at least I got 790 on the reading though. I got worse on my math after studying for it than I did before studying for it. On March, literally when I took the math SAT in March, I had not seen a math problem in like 87 years. Oh, Jesus. So annoyed. Anyway, I'm triggered. Okay, let's look at this one. The main conclusions about lichens. Oh, dude, I don't remember this. Okay, I need to actually look at it. We've been wrong about lichens for 150 years. They're complex organisms. I think I was annoyed by this one. I was, because this thing, I think, didn't help. Like this not only did the blurb not help. Okay, it's one thing for a blurb to not help. It actually is worse when it makes you think that the focus is on lichens when it's not, or something like that, right? Didn't that happen here? Oh no, it's not this one. Okay. Never mind. I think, yeah, never mind. I was talking about a different passage. Sorry. Ignore everything I just said for the last 15 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna remind myself, because the question is main claim, right? Main conclusion about lichens. So let's find the main conclusion. We've been wrong about lichens. We've had this prejudice. What was this prejudice? Hundreds of millions of years ago, a microbe, an algae, joined with the fungus, okay, algae and fungus, and then they conquered the world. Bonnie and Clyde, sure, and it's been our symbiosis 150, except the story is incomplete. Lichen has revealed a third, menage a trois. There's a third person there. Okay, so we got a third organism that has eluded scientists, a yeast, a different fungus. So two fungi. What's the first fungi, by the way? We don't even know the first fungus, but two fungi. The BY, the Basidiomycetes or whatever. 52 genera, and it's probably been there since the beginning. Okay, and so right now all I need is the main conclusion. So today, right now I'm not gonna go through all the details of the the experiment design or like the study, but. Okay, just sort of skimming this. But on the real test, by the way, I'm much slower on this, okay? I try to process everything that's happening. Hang on, what happened here? Bryoria? Oh, okay, it's a specific type of lichen. There's this third guy just hanging out there. And we found it everywhere. It's not a hoax. Sure enough, when they added these markers, they glowed. We can't be certain it's in all studies. We only looked at the P family. But okay, so yeah, some might be in some lichens, some families of lichens may not have the BY yeast, Okay, which would provide the best support? So I'm looking for support that lichens have been not lichens, that the BY the third kid, okay, was always there since the beginning. All right, here we go. Determine the genetic markers to particular algae contamination. What? No. Collect more evidence to prove that. To prove that something is even more unique than it is now, I'm going to put parentheses around this because I don't know what Asomycete is. I don't remember it. I just skimmed it. But I think no. Moving on. Briaria's DNA sequences match those of lichens. Why would the DNA be... Okay, so this one is parentheses. I don't think the DNA would be connected directly, right? Because if we're talking about Briaria DNA sequences, does that directly connect to the lichen? Or sorry, to the BY meast? Present lichens outside the P. So I think this is what I chose. And this makes intuitive sense for me because we're trying to say two distinct fungi. Now, if this is wrong, it's because it's either because the main claim, okay, the main conclusion is about inside the Parmelicea, the P family, or because the two distinct fungi is too broad and we're actually supposed to be talking specifically about BY. Let me just double check. BY has been around. So I see. I chose D. But why would that be wrong? Okay, let's look at, I mean, I can see some angles, okay? I'm gonna process this a little bit more before I just reveal the answer. Let's look at DNA, okay? Let's learn about the DNA bits. We can sequence DNA. What's strange about Briaria? They have an acid, BT and BF. Then they were looking at the RNA. Hang on, is this related to the sequencing recent advances? Okay, so this is the same. It's the RNA and the DNA, their techniques are connected. They're the same idea right now. Contamination. Third thing, they thought it was contamination. Algae. But we're not talking about algae right now. We're talking about the yeast. Okay, so A is redundant. Oh, the Asomycete. Okay, let's look at this. The final proof that this is not a host when they developed green fluorescent, that fluorescent marked as and then the other fungus. Okay, so there's these two funguses. Okay, fungi. I mean, sorry. So, sure enough, they added these markers. The samples lichen tissue. They're still hidden fungal partner. That's a unique RNA sequence. That's completely irrelevant. You know what it is? Maybe I just lack enough biology to understand this idea of... So I'm thinking if D is wrong, the reason D is wrong is because two distinct fungi are too general. We're specifically talking about these two, okay? We're specifically talking about Ascomycete, or I don't know how to pronounce that, and Basidiomycete, okay? We're specifically talking about those two. And so if we just say two distinct fungi without putting the word the in front of it, if we don't say the word the, then D could be wrong. And that's actually a really good question. It's also a really hard question, but it's a really good question if that's the correct reasoning. But why is this right then? By the way, I'm checking the chat a little slowly, but can I do EST tests? I have no idea what EST is. So if you can explain what EST is, I'd appreciate it. Because when I see EST, I see Eastern Standard Time. Number 49. I'll go to number 49 after this. Priority is DNA sequences, specialist lichens from other families. I mean, if the DNA sequences do the DNA sequences include these other fools? I guess so, right? I guess so. Yeah. You find from other families. Oh Lord, this is so outside of the P family. So the DNA sequence is the technique. Oh, it is C. C and D are almost the same answer, except the jeez, yo, it's C. Oh no, it's D. What the fuck? Yo, what the hell is going on, guys? I thought I chose D. It's crazy. Okay. You know what, guys? I'm gonna need more time on this because for this one I will accept because I think I'm getting confused. So for this one, I'm gonna do a full review of the May 2022 anyway. I'm gonna do like right now I'm only just going through my questions and just sort of making quick judgment calls. Like, was this question something that I accept as genuinely my error, or do I sort of contest it, right? Ideally, I don't want to contest any of them. I want to accept all of them as my error. You know, I don't want to blame the College Board for me not doing well. But I literally think for those first two questions, it was a little iffy. Now this one, I'm not going to make a judgment on this yet, okay? I'm going to think about this a little longer. Okay, so for now, I'm going to move on from 29. Now, that is, those are my errors, and I see a new question, which is, when am I going to do the math section? I'm going to do the reading, writing, and math full review. I don't know if you're asking about the full review or if you're just asking about like me reviewing my wrong answers, okay? But me reviewing my QAS, I'm going to do it in like the next 15 minutes because I got nothing wrong on the writing. But the full review, I'll probably do it within the next 2 weeks. Okay, so I want to do it sooner rather than later, but I have a couple other things to finish before the end of May. So I'm just going to juggle it in, and I'm going to try to do it as fast as possible. Okay, I see number 49. So let me go to number 49 really quickly. Here we go. Hang on, let me zoom in. Why is this zoom not working suddenly? Okay. Whew. Okay, but right now, out of the 3 questions that I got wrong, I contest 2 of them. I mean, I know that a lot of students got them right because of, you know, because for example, that the wondering about, right? Like literally, if you don't think at all, you can actually get it right. But I just don't think those 2 questions were well written. Now, looking at 49, information from the past best supports which potential explanation for the data in Figure 1 regarding the leaf area of H protein increased strains. Holy crap! What is this? Okay, I don't remember what this means. So for this one, since I didn't get it wrong, I'm gonna look at the answer first, so I can simplify my explanation process. Okay, information from the passage best supports which explanation for the data in Figure 1. Okay, so let's look at Figure 1 first. Okay, before I even look at the answer choices, I want to look at Figure 1. Now in Figure 1, I see that they have seedling leaf area. So how much area does the leaf how big is the leaf 26 days after having been in the control and after having been in tobacco strains with increased protein? Now, what does the increased protein refer to? I'm going to figure out what that means. Give me a sec. Photorespiration. To meet this demand for more production, we wanted to use photorespiration to increase crop yield. Can we use it to increase crop yield? And we sped up the recycling of the toxins, okay, by creating, and that enabled the parenchyma larger. So what we're learning from this is actually, weirdly enough, out of the 4 strains, only one of them was actually successful. The other ones were not successful, okay? But I remember this question a little bit now. There was like a sort of qualification somewhere. There was a qualification somewhere. Let me find it really quickly. Because there's a point where they talk about some H protein. Here we go. Too much H protein in all parts was harmful. Wait, that's one qualification. Was there a different one? Let me find it. Oh, and then, so there are certain approaches where they manufacture the H protein only in the leaves. So here's something you can actually infer. Okay, you can't be 100% sure though, because at least right now with what I read, I can't be 100% sure. But what a possible explanation? Okay, a possible, not a definite, but a possible explanation is that these guys actually produced H protein in all parts of the plant. Okay, let's go. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. So that is my explanation. Right now, that was my thought process for 49. If you have further questions on that, you can ask. But the thing that you should immediately notice when you see this is the hypothesis is saying, right? The passage is saying that they were able to increase the size of the plant leaves, right? They were able to increase the size of the plant leaves, but literally only 1 out of 4 actually increased. That's kind of sus, you know? It's like a little suspicious. Like why? Like that's like kind of the opposite of what they are, proving, right? So then you have to look in the passage, like why do these other 3 have? What's their reasoning for why the other 3 didn't help if supposedly their whole H protein blah 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 innovation is supposed to be so successful? How come it's not successful over here? And then you get that reasoning over in 42 to 45. Okay, this is the reasoning for that. It produced too much H protein in too many parts of the body of the plant body. Okay, so that's reading question 49. All right, so now I'm going on to writing. Now writing, I actually got nothing wrong, so I have no, I'm actually only gonna pause here for 30 seconds and I don't need to go through these questions and be like, I accept or I contest, I'm just gonna accept my 44 out of 44. I accept all 44 of them. But if anyone has any questions on the writing, you have 10 more seconds. Okay, and there is a bit of a lag between you guys and me because of the streaming, but I think there's no questions, so I'm going to move on. Math without calculator, here we go. Math without calculator, I got 2 wrong out of 20, which is sad, but let's look. Hang on, what? How did I get this wrong? Okay, the shaded okay, so this is something plus 3. So basically I have to get a y is equal to, what's the slope? Y is equal to 3x plus 3. Okay, y is equal to 3x. So I'm gonna make this all an equality first and just double check. Where do I get y is equal to 3x plus 3? So that's, this is y equals to 3x. And then, okay, so these 2 are the only ones that can be y is equal to 3x plus 3. Y is equal to 3x plus 3. Now I have to choose which side. Is it less than or greater than? And then the way I'm gonna check is I'm gonna just put 0, 0 in there, okay? So if I put 0, 0 in there, I need it to be the shaded region, so I need it to be true. So let's just check. 0 minus 0 is less than minus 3. That's false. 0 minus 0 is greater than minus 3. That's true, so it should be B. My fucking goodness. I chose A. You know why? It's because I didn't see the minus. I remember this. Somebody, yeah, I need to not do math. Doing math on YouTube is just embarrassing. Anyway, guys, you guys know how to do that question, right? Hey, this is a hard question. It's not hard, guys. It's not hard. For these inequalities, okay, just first solve for the equality, okay? Just what is this line? Get the line first. Is it okay? So get the line, and which one can be transformed into y equals 3x plus 3? It's only these two. Only these two can be transformed to y equals 3x plus 3. And then if you want the dark side, if you want the shaded region, you can just choose any coordinate from the shaded region, and it has to be true. So just do 0, 0, because that's the easiest one. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe I got that one wrong. I chose literally the wrong answer. God, I had everything right, but I chose the wrong answer. All right, moving on. That's question 11. Question 16. Question 16 is supposed to be a hard one as well. 15 is supposed to be a hard one as well. It's passport to advanced math, whatever the heck that means. Let's go. I just looked at this and it just made me tired. Okay. Okay, well, let's look. For this, I actually need my iPad, so give me a sec. I need my iPad. So let's do QuickTime. New movie recording. Okay. Put that over here. All right. And then, hang on, I hope there's nothing embarrassing that accidentally pops up. Where's my Notes app? Where's my Notes app? Notes app. Notes app. Okay, here we go. Beep. Okay, so right now I'm gonna go through this annoying question. Oops, I'm gonna go through this kind of annoying question, which is equivalent to I can't zoom for some reason. I'm trying to zoom out. Zoom. Okay, which is equivalent to 2q plus squared. Hang on. What happens when you do a fractional? That's right, and then you have to do like the cube root of it. The cube root of it. Okay. Cube root. How do you cube root a like a polynomial? Probably the way I did it was, did I just square this first? I definitely, oh, look at the answer choices. They have the cube root over here at the end anyway. So I just want the cube root, and then I just need to multiply this. So let me multiply it. So 2q and r are on the other side. And then this is 2 of root 2qr. Boo! What's going on? 2qr. Am I doing something wrong, guys? Why is this not 2 of 2qr? And then cube root of this, where they're positive. 2QR, square root of 2QR plus square root of 2QR is 2QR. 2 square root of 2QR. What the hell is going on? All right. Like, I think I chose C, but now I can't even reproduce it. Now, alternatively, I can turn this into 8QR, but that doesn't help. Wait, did I choose D then? What the hell is going on? Guys, I'm struggling. Guys, I'm struggling. I have no idea what I'm doing. All right. Let's just look at the answer. I have no idea what the answer is. I don't know how to get the 4. I don't know how to get the 4. Because square this, and then multiply these two, and then multiply by 2. I don't get it. All right. Well, that's me failing as a tutor. I'm just going to move on to my next question. I'll keep my iPad open just because this is math section. So moving on to my next section. Oh, Brendan is asking about number two for I think the section. Let's do that real quick. What was my score? I got one. I don't want to say. I'm just embarrassed now. I quit YouTube. Jeez. It's 1540. I got 790 on the EBRW, and then I got 750 on the math. What is the y-intercept of the? So the y-intercept is +3. If y-intercept is so it's 0.3 because y-intercept. So when do you intercept the y? It's when x is equal to 0. So to find the y-intercept, all you need to do is make x 0. So when you make x 0, then you get the y-coordinate, which is equal to 0 plus 3, which is equal to 3. So that's x is 0, and then the y becomes 3, so that's 0, 3. All right, moving on to math with calculator. I do remember being handicapped once because I took a really long time on some of these questions because I didn't have a calculator. But I've never taken an SAT with a calculator in my life. I'm not gonna start when I'm 33. So I'm just gonna be an old curmudgeon-y millennial. Okay, I'm living my glory days back when I actually used to be smart. God, I hate myself. Okay, 5 plus 5, and then the thing is plus 5, and then the slope is -3, so it should be A. And for the love of God, did I choose -1/3? Because if I did, just shoot me in the face. What the? I cannot believe I choose -1/3. What's wrong with me, guys? It's a stupid mistake. Okay. Oh wow, wrong page. Let me get into it. Someone's asking about the previous one for question number 2. So let me go back to question number 2, right? What happened there? That's a typo. That came way too. What is that? The SAT made a typo here, but I hope they didn't make that typo on the real test. They only made it on the QAS. Yeah, that's a problem. Good catch though, Harsh. Number two for writing. There's a little bit of a lag between the, what's it called? If you guys can tell me the questions you have earlier on, that'll be better. Like, just tell me which section you're talking about and then put the numbers in. So, question 2. Such theater, right? The correct answer was such theater. Worked at one such theater, because if you say one of them, you know, you don't know if you're talking about theaters or restaurants or stores or schools. Like, where did she work? One such theater. So that's C. Ambiguous antecedent. Here, I'll write it out for you, but you should look. Ambiguous antecedent. You should look that up, okay? If you don't know, you should get this correct like 100% of the times, because once you see the pattern, you will never unsee it, okay? So learn it once, and you will never unsee the pattern ever again in your whole life. Okay, question 25. Question 25. I have another question, which is, I don't know if most have pending scores. Most people from your school or your region might have pending scores, depending on where you are in the world. Most people should actually have their scores now. So your region or your school may have pending scores because this is the most like typical. I mean, the College Board will never confirm this, but oftentimes it's when there is suspected cheating. So if people think, if there's a suspicion that somebody spread like some materials or whatever in your center, then they will take some time to investigate that center, and so your scores may not come out for a while, for like a pretty long while. It might take a while. I actually don't know how long it goes. If anybody does know, if anybody does have experience with this, please share. But yeah, it will take a while. Sometimes it's just like the next day too, though. So it's not always the case. But yeah, just be ready for the worst case scenario that you're not going to know for like at least a week. Let's look at this. How many distinct real solutions does the given equation have? I think this one I struggled on, right? So for this, I just looked at, I turned x minus 5 into an x. So I'll explain what I mean. Okay. Where'd my pencil go? So for this, you know how x minus 5, okay, squared plus 10x minus 10x minus 5 plus 25, you know how that looks, right? I wrote it kind of ugly, but we can just replace x minus 5 with some other symbol. So I'm going to call it a star even, just to be super silly. Star squared plus 10 star plus 25 looks exactly like something you can factor. What does it look like? It looks like x plus, oh sorry, not x. How do you undo on this thing? It looks like star plus 5 squared, okay? Where star is equal to x minus 5. So this is equal to x minus 5 plus 5 squared, okay? Now, how many distinct real solutions are there? I think 5. Sorry, I think x equals 5 is the only one. But I'm not so advanced at math anymore that I no longer remember. But for example, if you do x minus 5, if you say that x is equal to 5, then you get 0 squared plus minus 50 plus, oh, no, you're supposed to imagine this as like a graph of some sort, like a parabola. Can I imagine this as a parabola? Bro, seriously, my math brain is not even on. I'm just gonna look. There's 2, so it intersects. Apparently, it does intersect. Apparently, it intersects the x-axis. apparently it's a parabola that actually intercepts the x-axis. But that's effing trippy. I have no idea what this looks like. Oh, no. Duh. It's 0. Sorry. Yeah, it touches the vertex. Bro. Oh my God. That is obviously, this is equal to x squared equals 0. Of course it touches the vertex. So obviously there's one solution. I overthought this. I thought there was going to be like complex numbers involved in this. This is actually super obvious. Oh my God. Jesus. Okay. Well, hang on. I'm looking at some of your explanations and I'm going to see if I can process them. So yeah, if you throw the thing into the calculator, you should basically see a parabola. You should just see a regular ass parabola, x squared equals 0. Like you're going to see a parabola that intersects at the vertex. I don't know what multiplicity of 2 is, but sure. Oh, this is that discriminant thing. Harsh is talking about that discriminant thing, but I seriously do not even remember what a discriminant is. What's the discriminant? Like, I don't remember that. So, yeah, I'm looking at it. Like, I just literally do not remember what the discriminant is useful for. It looks like next time I take the SAT, by the way, well, that's going to be October. Next time I take the SAT, I'll have to review math again because I want my 1600. But anyway, did I review all my questions? I think I have one more question left, right? One more question. Dude, I made 2 really dumb mistakes. Okay, this one. No, this is the one that I just looked at. It's 25. 28. Okay, this is my final question. Reviewing my math is actually legit embarrassing, just because I actually just made dumb mistakes now. It's because I'm like overconfident and I refuse to use a calculator, and I assume that I can just do everything in my head, and then I end up like not looking at the signs correctly. Anyway, so yeah, I literally forgot so for me, I think the standard deviation is lower on dataset B, if I remember correctly, right? Because when you say standard deviation is lower, wait, when you have a standard deviation of like 0, what does that mean? Does that mean that there is no deviation? That means there's no deviation. That means it's flat, right? That means it's flat. So that means the standard deviation, the means should be equal, and standard deviation of A should be greater than standard deviation of B. Oh, so literally okay. This was a definition problem. I just didn't know the definition of standard deviation. It's like literally the flip. I memorized it, the opposite of what it actually means. So apparently if you have 0 standard deviation, then you accrue towards the center. Now, intuitively, I don't see why those words make sense. So I'd have to go and look back. I'd have to look at the definition of standard deviation and like remember what that means. But yeah, but that for me was a definition problem. It's like on the March test, I had no idea what congruence and similarity meant. So it was just like I just need to know the definition now. So yeah, that's so hang on. I got one definition question wrong. 2 really silly mistakes where I just saw like the sign incorrectly or whatever, and then 2 of them were algebra, and I just sort of suck at algebra apparently. Like I kind of forgot I couldn't do the compute. Like the 2 algebra questions, I showed you here. This like I just overthought this one, and then this one I still to this day I still can't figure that out because for some reason the discriminant, I don't know if the discriminant is supposed to help, but basically I'm supposed to have 2. I don't get it. I literally don't get it. I don't see why that. I don't know why I don't know how to make that calculation at this moment, so I'd have to take some time to review it. Okay, so I will be doing the full review of, so that's basically the my SAT. Okay. Let me just double check some of these chats just to make sure I didn't miss anything. So yeah, my math is not the best, guys. It's been a long time. So just, yeah, forgive me. My explanations are not going to be very efficient when I talk about math because I no longer even remember some of the words for describing these things. 750 for math. That's really annoying. But I am more or less happy that I got 790 on EBRW. It's just that I would honestly, if I had a friend in College Board, if I had a friend who was a College Board test writer, I'd be like, friend, really? Like I'd bother him or her. I would, because out of those 3 questions, 2 of them I feel like they're a little sketch. The other one I will accept, but I have to take some time to think about it because I didn't read the passage. I need some time to reread the passage and process it because I'm not in the mental space to do that. So obviously all of my math mistakes I accept because math questions are very straightforward, very clear. They're clear cut. There's nothing to contest with math because it's very obvious what the right answer is when you know how to get the right answer. With writing too, usually there's not usually too big of a problem, but sometimes there's weird problems. With reading, having 2 problems is kind of more than I'm used to. On the SAT for the reading, I usually just tell students, on the SAT there will always be like 1 question that's kind of like hard to defend. So just choose the best that you can, and just remember that usually on most curves you can still get 1 wrong and get like a perfect score. That's just almost always the case. If not, then you'll do fine. Even if not, right? Even like just remember that you're getting graded on a curve. So if the test is easy, then you should get all of them right if you want 800. If the test is hard, then you can still get 4 wrong sometimes and still get 800. It's just because sometimes the questions aren't perfect, but don't fixate on the imperfect questions. Focus more on just doing really good by having very clear logic in your head. Okay, that's the most important part. So yeah, I mean, I did well. I got a 790, but apparently some students out in the world got a 800, so they did better than me. It's like makes me a little insecure. But hey, but you know what? 790 on the EBRW, I can't complain. I don't complain about that. If I had literally gotten that wondering about question correct, then I would have been fine. And also, if I hadn't had to take that 2-minute piss break at the start of the reading section, then I might have even gone back and fixed one of those. So I could have, who knows? But maybe I would have done better without that piss break. And if I just sort of like if I just look back at that wondering about question. That's all I can say for now for my test. You guys let me know what you want for the full test review, but I'm gonna just go through it in the upcoming weeks. Before I do that, I'm gonna finish off the QASs. I have this sort of playlist on YouTube where I just go through every single QAS that has been released, and I'm almost finished. I have about 4 more tests to go. So after a week, every single QAS and every single official SAT test that has ever been released will have a full stream from me in the YouTubes. Okay, so they will exist. After that, then my topmost priority after that is May SAT. So I'll be doing the May SAT. And then hopefully, I also want to write a sort of, in Korean, we call that 총정리. But what's that in English? Like a recap? It's kind of I can't think of the English word right now, but like a summary or like an outline, like a cheat sheet, something like that of like a short YouTube video that summarizes my reading approach. Okay, so that you guys can It doesn't mean you have to use my reading approach, but but it makes it a lot easier if you want to try a different approach than the way that you are doing it right now. Then if I have a video that I can just point you guys to, makes it a lot easier instead of having you kind of ask me questions here and there randomly throughout the streams. So I'm gonna try to make that Saul's strategy for the reading on the SAT video sometime soon, and that'll probably be after the May 2022 review. So I'll be doing that. June to August, my update for that. So that's my plans for May. Those are my plans for May. June to August, I actually am not too sure because I'm gonna have a very full schedule of teaching during summer. So I'm kind of curious if you guys. Like in Korea and in Asia, it's very common for students to be studying the SAT throughout the summer. In the US, I'm actually not sure yet because even though I'm American, I've been living in Korea for 10 years. So I don't really have a good sense of how much studying kids do during the summer for the SAT. Like realistically speaking, here's my guess. Okay, here's my guess. I'm going to assume that 90% of you guys who watch this video, okay, are not going to think about the SAT for June and July, and then you're going to start thinking about it literally right before the August test or right before the October test. You're probably not going to be doing, like your YouTube is not going to be full of YouTube, you're not going to be like spending hours on YouTube studying the SAT from June and July, right? I don't know. But if you would, okay, if you want something, okay, we can chat. Now, I think I can only do a limited amount of streaming, okay, throughout the summer, but I do want to keep the ball rolling. I don't want to just completely, absolutely drop streaming throughout the summer. So I'm open to ideas, okay? Here's my laziest version. My laziest version of what I could be doing between June and August is on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I could do a 2-hour Q&A session. Just stream it, okay? That's my laziest idea right now, where I don't have to pre-plan anything. But if you have maybe a different idea, like I don't know, I don't know. There's so many things that we could do. I just don't know. Hang on, maybe this is too nebulous as a topic. How about this? Guys, you tell me what your plans are for the SAT during the summer. More likely than not, my belief is that you're not going to do, your plans for the SAT for summer are non-existent. You have no plans for the SAT for the summer. But if you do, I'd be very curious what they are, okay? And whether you have a plan or not, if I did a Tuesday, Thursday, office hours kind of thing where I just do Q&A about random SAT stuff or random, it doesn't even have to be SAT now I think about it, could be anything academics related. But if I did that, would that be something you would actually, do you think that would be helpful for you? That's basically what I'm curious about. Yeah, so Phelps, I actually answered this question a little earlier, so I'm just going to do a one-sentence answer, but it might be that your test center is getting investigated. So if you wanna, I don't know, do you guys know the timestamp? Like right now, how many minutes are we in? So I've been streaming for like an hour and 15 minutes, right? Ish. So I think if you back up like 15 minutes ago, I talked about it. But yeah, the short answer is your test center might be getting investigated for potential cheating. That's a potential reason, but the SAT, the College Board will never confirm that directly with you, so it's just a guess. And the best thing you can do is just hold on for like a week and assume that you will not see your score again for a whole week. Okay. Maybe worst case scenario, the absolute worst case scenario is that your test score might get invalidated. And that would suck ass, honestly. I mean, just, if somebody else cheats and it affects your scores, that would be honestly pretty terrible. And I sympathize, but that's how College Board operates. So that's the absolute worst case scenario. Just be ready for that mentally, so that if the worst does come, that you're not taken off guard. This happens more frequently, I think, in international administrations than in U.S. administrations. So just be, especially if you're in like a sort of like a high competitive like region of the world, like China or Korea, just know that this is like a possibility. Sarah, I don't know why that would be. That's a huge drop. So I would say, did you used to get 42 out of 44 on the QAS release tests, or did you get 42 out of 44 on practice tests that are published by like Barron's, Princeton Review, Ivy Global, like whoever? Like are you using third-party publishers' material, or are you using actual College Board material? Because those are they can tell you very, very different information depending on what test you're using. Okay, so I think the best way to be reliably confirming your actual ability is not to use any of the third-party publisher materials, because some of those questions are real weird. Some of them are really weird, and some of those passages are really strange. Like I would not recommend some of those. I mean, I won't name names right now, but and it's been too long. I haven't seen some of those books in like 5 years, but yeah, if you're using some of those, I would not recommend using it for benchmarking. Some of those are decent for practice, just for practice, but they're not good for benchmarking. Oh, okay, you use the QAS tests. Maybe you were nervous. Maybe you. I mean, I would have no idea. I would be more curious to hear what you think were your potential reasons, because I don't know why that would happen in a general sense, but some common things that might have affected you is you're not very good at stress management, and you might not have taken a lot of I'm just guessing right now because I actually don't know how you studied, but some kids, when they don't take the full 3-hour practice test, okay, what happens is that they find that they get exhausted. And they're not managing their energy levels very well. So that's something you might have to learn to work with. Also, the pressure of the real thing might be causing some stress. So those are some things. Maybe you, and what a lot of times what happens when people are nervous is that they practice a certain strategy, like they practice getting used to doing things a certain way, but then last minute, because they're so nervous, they actually take the test in a totally different way. So like, some of you guys know my strategy. My strategy is to read the passage, predict the answer, and then choose the answer choice, right? Like, if you practice that for a couple of weeks, but then you go up to the real test and you change it out of nervousness, all of a sudden your score could drop. So those are some possible reasons, but I'd have no idea unless I actually remember, unless I was you and then I remembered what I did. So yeah, I wouldn't have, I think that's the best I can do at the moment. About that. I didn't think this writing test, okay, so actually now that I think about it, there's a sort of implicit question in your question, which is this writing test especially difficult? And so I would say no. This writing test is not especially difficult. It's nothing particularly special about this writing test. So just in case you're wondering about that, I would not say that was the case. Okay, guys, good stream. Some of you guys have been watching for quite a while, so thanks for being here with me. And I always appreciate you guys, my subscribers. You guys are lovely people. I just want to close off with this. So I've reviewed my score. I've reviewed my questions. I've reviewed some of your questions. And then I talked about my plans for May and then for June to August. Okay, I talked about all of that. It looks like we have no other questions, so I'm wrapping up. I want to leave with a couple words on just how to think about the summer coming up and about the SAT generally. Guys, the SAT is just one measure of your academic competence, your academic proficiency, okay? Specifically, how good you are at reasoning under time pressure. It's only one measure. It's not the end-all be-all of who you are, okay? So I want you to keep that in mind because that helps you to frame the way that you think about not just the SAT, but your entire college application and about your activities this summer and going forward. What is the best thing that you can do this summer? For some of you guys might be thinking, oh, I should study for the SAT, okay? That might be the right answer for you. That might not be the best answer for you either. It really depends, okay? Because the colleges are not looking at you just to look at the numbers. They're looking at especially the more the more prestigious the college, the more competitive the college. They're really looking for the totality of the person that you are, and they use a lot of different. I mean, I have a friend I have a close friend in admissions, and they're not robots. They're not data crunching robots. I mean, there are data crunching processes, but the final decision does not come to some robotic algorithm. It comes to another human being on the other side of that application, reviewing you, learning more about you, talking to your counselor sometimes, okay? Sometimes that happens for like smaller schools where they will directly phone the counselor at your school to figure out like what's going on. Sometimes these admissions officers go the extra mile just to find out who you are, right? They're human beings, and they want, and they're proud of their school. And so they want good human beings to be in their school. So what can you do with your summer? Spend 100 more hours on the SAT? Maybe, right? Maybe you have a 1350 and then you spend 100 hours on the SAT and then you're going to get like a 1650 and you're going to show a massive jump in only 3 months. Okay, that's dope, right? That's going to be really impressive. But what if you spend 100 hours on the SAT and you go from, like 1650 to like 1690 for 3 months for 100 hours? Was that worth it? Does that show you as the awesome person, as a cool and interesting and motivated and energetic and passionate and mission driven and purposeful and generous and charitable and lovely person that you are? 100 hours? It's at the end of the day, it's your time and it's your life, and you want to be optimizing not for numbers. You want to be optimizing for being a smarter, wiser, better person than you were yesterday. Okay? So some of you guys are into robotics. Hey, build that cool ass motherfucking machine right now. Just start. Do something cool. Some of you are going to be into golf. Hey, work on your form. Keep getting better at what you're already good at, right? Some of you are doing volunteer activities, serving the incarcerated. Yo, go all in, right? Be the best version of you today, and then be even better tomorrow. Like, just keep doing that. And yes, that should include your academic abilities as well. So yeah, learn a little vocabulary today. Learn a little, and then by tomorrow, you'll have more vocabulary than you did today. But the main thing is keep on growing little by little, step by step, in a full and holistic way. And by the time you get into the point where, you're trying to convince people to, oh, please pay attention to me. Oh, I have all these numbers. Oh, I have all these like accomplishments. You don't have to beg, right? You're just an awesome person. That's what you want. That's where you want to be. Okay. So just don't forget your priorities, focus on who you want to be, and keep growing, keep building, keep improving. Okay. That's my final word on the SAT and your summer. I hope you have amazing plans for the summer. If you don't, then just start with the first week. Plan an amazing first week, okay, where you just have something interesting to do for the first week. Okay, have fun, okay, enjoy your summer. All right, guys, that's it for the May SAT. I'll be doing, like I said, I'll be publishing the streams for the May SAT review soon, within the next week or two. All right, see you guys later. I'll see you guys